Step 2 is a little bit more of a happier one. Living life, and you have to live your life in extreme appreciation. What if I have anxiety? The most powerful thing I took from that book, a lot of us now, and even when I was doing it, anxiety is a blanket term. We don't spend the time to get down to what we're feeling. We don't write. We don't vent. And so I just have anxiety. My brother and my parents will attest to this. I never spoke about anxiety until probably quarantine. But all of a sudden, since the media started pushing it, like this person is, oh yeah, I have it. I have this feeling, whatever. I'm not saying that y'all's diagnosed anxiety is just not true. But I'm just saying the mind's a very powerful thing, and whatever you believe and truly imagine about yourself, and that's your self-image, it's going to react that way. So, what if I have anxiety? Define your feelings. The most powerful thing for me, when I would go to my dorm or apartment and just sit in my room and cry and sit there and wonder, like, what am I feeling? I would take out a blank sheet of paper and I would write a question. First question, what am I feeling? Okay, this is concerning me, this is worrying me, this is bothering me, okay, cool. What can I do about it? This might happen, whatever. And when I get to the bottom of the paper, my answer was always, I'm not truly worried about anything. There's nothing there. Nothing. And when you see yourself write that out, it becomes real. Oh, my anxious is rooted in something that's not there. Because, again, as most of you know, and I'm not, again, oh, you're anxious, stop being anxious. I'm not going to say that. It's not how it works. But as most of you know, worrying is not going to add any time to your life. It won't. You can worry as much as you want. It won't add any time. Whatever you're concerned about is going to happen no matter what. So get to the root of your feelings. Oh, am I sad? Okay. Am I really anxious, or am I just excited for my day tomorrow? Am I just nervous or concerned for my day tomorrow? That's normal feelings. And when you define it, it takes away the power that this generation has placed over anxiety, like over us. So define your feelings, get to the root of what you're feeling. And since I have read that in that book, I have not been anxious. That anxiety attack I had in quarantine 2 years ago is the last one I ever had. And for those of you that have it, again, I talk about the feeling you get right here, hasn't been back since. Heart rate increasing, shaking, worrying, hadn't happened since. Next, what if? So I'm so depressed and I feel worthless. When I get people that tell me that, I ask them, who or what are you putting your self-worth into? Because if you're putting into people who are just around you, not with you, that's a fluid thing. It's going to go up and down because those people are not cemented points in your life. If you put it into likes, views, comments on Instagram, I feel really concerned for you because, again, that is a fluid thing. Like, literally, Instagram changed the option to hide your like count because of the generation of anxiety and depression. So do not put your self-worth into things that are fluid, that are not controlled by you. My self-worth comes from my habits and the work that I've done, from the people that are with me, that love me, and the people that I've affected. That's where my self-worth comes from. I know who I am. And so when I post a workout video, when I post anything, and it doesn't get as many likes as I want, cool, because I know eventually those likes are going to be there. And anybody you see that's an influencer, that's an entrepreneur that's made it, at one point they were here. They were listening to somebody that was where they wanted to be. They were watching somebody that was where they wanted to be. Everybody that has achieved your dreams was at one point nowhere close to their dream. Nowhere. And that's something I've had to root myself in as I've tried to grow my personal brand in a way. So, if you're depressed and feel worthless, be very, very in tune to what you put your self-worth into. Because if you're putting in fluid things like, oh, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't have a girlfriend, so I must not be worth anything. No, not true. Been there, not true. Not true. What if I had no purpose? Another thing that's been apparent in my generation and I've observed across colleges, places I've visited, is that people expect life to give them their purpose. Then that this is going to come innately. It's not how it works. Your goals and your reasons for waking up every day is what gives you purpose. So if you're laying in bed expecting something miraculous to happen in your life, like, oh yeah, I'm going to wake up one day and Something's going to come into my life, somebody's going to come into my life, and that's going to be my route. No. You have to define it for yourself. And it's going to take failure. It's going to take going through different avenues to get to that point. Don't expect it to just be one shot and go. I literally thought my purpose was to be a basketball player. Like, my identity was a basketball player. It wasn't I played basketball. And even now, I am still struggling separating myself from that identity because I didn't get to grieve it. Nothing marked it being done. Nobody called. I just had to adapt and go. So if you're at those points where you look in the mirror, you don't like what you see, you hate what you see, I've been there, but I can tell you it's going to take work to get out of it. It's not just going to innately come, wake up one day and, oh yeah, I'm happy. So yes, do not define your self-worth by social media, relationships, etc. Live your life in extreme appreciation, especially with your loved ones. I love the expression, treat your loved ones like glass, because you don't know. Time is so short. Like I said, my childhood best friend, drunk driver. Didn't get to graduate high school. Nothing told us was going to happen, no warning, nothing. Dad came in my room one night, Garrett's dead. Nothing. Nothing's going to warn you of that. So, on a happier note, you got to appreciate your life and the adversity you've conquered. Because if you're standing here today, that means every bad day you've ever had, you've conquered. Every bad day you've ever had, you've got over. Every breakup, any type of pain, you've got over it. And maybe right now you may be in pain. You're here. You're up. You're at a gym. Own that. We harp so bad about our failures, but we don't own our successes. And I'm very guilty of it. I'm so hard on myself. Like I literally had to go home and tell myself, like, good job. I had to tell myself good job after each session at a certain point, because I would just, again, I'm supposed to do this. And so it's really very hard for me to feel that way. And if you're currently in pain, as hard as it is, appreciate the fact that you're not going to feel that way forever if you make these changes. Appreciate the fact that you're going to get to a point that the future you is more successful, more confident, more peaceful, more happy, and that how you feel right now is only going to be a stepping stone and the catalyst for you to be how you want to operate. Appreciate and reflect on how far you've come, especially if you're going through a lot of transitions. So, like, to me, today is so vilifying. Because I used to go home every day, my shoulders and head down, and my mom would say, you have every reason to be happy, why aren't you happy? 2 years ago, I was walking around a campus with my shoulders and head down. And y'all see me as the confident person because I used to not be that confident person. I used to not be this happy person. I used to not be this unaffectable person. Again, use your pain. You're already in pain. You might as well get paid for it. That's my motivation. That's why I love being happy. It's a choice. I chose pain for so long. And make no mistake, pain's going to choose you too. There's many things you can't control. And that's why you have to have these habits, you have to have these beliefs about yourself, so when it does choose you, you can power through it. And again, come out the other side stronger, more confident, more happy, more peaceful. And the reason I'm able to maintain my appreciation is that it's rooted in an eternal perspective. And what I mean by that, the people before y'all undoubtedly had it way harder than you had. Just for perspective, my grandfather, right now at this age, was on a warship in the Navy, going to war in the Korean War, 22. Here I am in a gym, dressed nice, speaking to people. He was born with a dirt floor, which, if you don't know, the expression dirt poor, that's where it comes from. And so, as much as my parents tell me to stop being so hard on myself, when I feel myself complaining, oh, I'm tired, whatever, that man died a millionaire. Kids taken care of, wife taken care of. And he had dirt floor. You don't think he got tired? You don't think he woke up some days like, damn, I don't want to do this today? And so when I'm complaining, I'm like, man, what do I got to complain about? I slept 4 hours, so what? I go to work at a gym, and I tell people how to work out at the end of the day. And so root your perspective in something that's eternal. And when you're like, oh yeah, like I'm tired, I'm this, I'm that. Somebody before you had it harder, because you're living a life right now of, our generation is the most privileged generation in history. So if you've complaining, negative, whatever, go back to that. Somebody before me had it harder, so I can do this. And is that hard? Hell yeah, it's hard. I wake up at 4, Monday through Thursday. It's never easy. Cold showers, first thing I do, never easy. The water's cold as hell every day. But at the same time, somebody before me had it harder. And so I can't. I have no room to complain. One of my favorite quotes is, everyone has 2 lives, and the second one begins when they realize they only have one. And working here has strengthened that perspective for me, because when I look around, I see people in their 70s and 80s exercising, and I'm like, man, that's going to be me one day. And the workouts they're doing are obviously nothing compared to what I can do right now, but that's going to be me. I'm not going to be able to do what I can do right now eventually. And so my appreciation for how young I am, and the capacity I have to do the things I can, is appreciation. It feels great. I'm blessed. And the happiness builds from that. And so if you feel yourself going through it, observe. Somebody has it harder than you. And again, I hate comparing pain, because again, I know a lot of y'all have grown up harder than me, a lot of y'all have been through harder things than me, but I hate comparing pain. Because at the end of the day, it's never going to be more real than the person that went through it. And that's why I have the confidence to speak about these things, because, yeah, you can pay X amount of money to go watch an entrepreneur, book writer, whatever, but will it feel as real? Again, I'm just like y'all, and I conquered all these things. I used to be the person that cried. This is a good time to make this point. And I told you I was going to do this, Kaylee. This is a rhetorical question. But how many times did you see me in that back office crying, get up, wipe my tears off, and then go do a session? I love working here. But does stuff get to me? Yes. I pride myself on not being affected, but I still feel my feelings. I'm not saying not be human. But having those little moments makes me appreciate the good days so much more. Because, yeah, I've wiped my tears off, made my face not as red, gone to work, gone to session, put somebody through it, and went home, cried more. Recently. And again, but when I root myself in that appreciation, I don't have those days. And the good days feel so much better. So you're taking control of your life, taking control of how you're living and operating, not putting people at relevant points that don't need it, and you were living your life in extreme appreciation. Now what? So step 3, this is when you start to specifically build the habits around the new self-image you were wanting.